It is time, ladies and gentlemen. Who do you think will face Vietnam as we proceed for the semifinals? Match 2 played between the Legend Circuit Malaysia versus the Thailand Pro League. This is the Garena All-Star Championships 2016 and we're gonna be your shoutcasters. I am Shinbu with a 1 for an eye, and of course with me is Iconic. Once again guys, bringing you all the action here in the Summoner's Reef. Let's go into the drafting phase as we will witness, you know, the second leg, the second set here that has a fair share of who will come out as the all-star team from the Southeast Asian region. Yes. So let's see for the bands here. We have Kenan, Zach, Nidalee, Jace, Zyra. Let's see the final iteration is gonna be a Victor band so far in the bands insights here. I got it.
These are very strong power picks right now. We're actually seeing a hover over the Aurelion Soul. I don't know if you remember, but yesterday we had some technical difficulties with the Aurelion Soul. So hopefully we won't have to remake today. Because that's a big problem for Malaysia, because I'm sure they're thinking about it, integrating Aurelion Soul into their composition.
Yes.
But we have a first pick coming out from Thailand, which is the Syndra. Syndra, one of the strongest mid laners in this current meta. They also Victor is also removed, so we kind of see like these
a lot of power picks in the mid lane done. Yes.
Yeah, you would see like on Syndra and Victor being the two equal, very strong mid lane assassins.
Yes.
Mid lane AP assassins, if you will.
Could we check that? Well, we have the Syndra. Could we check that we still have the Oriana, but this time, of course, the answers would be the Vladimir, Elise, Graves. Once again, Graves is a lot of presence. It's very interesting that we ever since I think that game with Tamsu, I mean, with a close comeback. I mean, almost comeback against Team Thailand. There's been a lot of showing of a Graves here in the the Garena All-Star Championships 2016. A Poppy gets locked in as well. So far, these are pretty standard pickups again. You know, in building up a composition without.
I'm actually surprised that we didn't see any Lee Sin.
Yeah.
Because as you can take a look in the last pick, Caspiel and Noi, they've been playing a lot of Lee Sin. Noi actually played some Kha'Zix as well.
Yeah,
but they actually performed very well on Lee Sin. So I would expect like in this setup, you would actually think that Lee Sin is a contested pick between the two teams. But they actually just push Lee Sin to the side and pick up the carry Graves and the Elise as well.
So it's like there's this level of respect and anticipation that the team has a clear idea of what you can bring into the table.
I think they're trying to bait out the other team to pick the Lee Sin so that they will pick either they will pick a composition that can play against the Lee Sin very well.
Pretty intense drafting, I might say. You know,
like the mind games
mind games happening right now. It's a Trundle and Nami gonna pick up this Trundle. Yes, definitely in the top lane. As the Nami is a sure shot in the mid lane. It's in the support position. It's only us in our country that we pick Nami in the mid lane.
Only calculated.
Only calculated. One of the professional players in the Philippines. And now here for Thailand, completing their roster, they will have the Jean and the Trash getting locked in for their composition.
Actually, only in this tournament do you see a lot of Trash being picked.
Yes.
Trash being a very mechanical support. It usually doesn't work out for teams, especially
if it's like a hit or miss champion, something like that.
Yes, very hit or miss. If you can't execute the Trash properly, it could cost you the game.
Yeah,
so
that's why they rely more on Karma because of the assurance of his, you know, his one root. His one of his CC is actually a targeted skill.
Exactly, and Karma would actually be pretty good with their composition just because they actually have really immobile champions.
Yeah.
So Karma would be able to speed them up and actually help them destroy Team Malaysia. So very questionable Trash pickup. I think if they picked up the Karma, they could have done so. They had more chase potential, and it could have helped them give them that little boost.
Yes.
To actually catch up and probably turn team fights around versus Team Malaysia. So we have a very good pick also with the Caitlyn. Caitlyn outranging the Jhin, so can do pretty decently again in the lane matchup. But as we talked about regarding sustained bot lanes and all-in bot lanes, it's going to be an interesting mix because Malaysia's bot lane is actually a poke with sustain.
Yep.
While Thailand is a poke with an all-in. So it
poke with an all-in, definitely an all-in, as we can see here that the Thresh is holding an ignite.
The Thresh wants also ignite. Actually the Nami also has ignite.
Yes. All right. So guys, that's the picks and bans. That's all the champions getting locked in for this semi-finals. Do take note that this is just game 1 as we dive into a best of 5 series between these two teams. Team Thailand, the Thailand Pro League, versus Team Malaysia, the Legend Circuit Malaysia. To all of our viewers, the biggest shoutouts to our Filipino viewers, as this is the English broadcast provided by the Garena Esports Philippines. But as well, we want to send our biggest shoutouts and greetings to our viewers from Thailand and our viewers from Malaysia. And of course, guys, we are live at gaming.youtube.com/user/phgarena/live. Please do, you can take a screenshot of the stream and share it on your own timeline, or if you want to make it easier, you can actually check out the Garena Esports Philippines Facebook fan page, and as well in the Garena Singapore, we are live there as well for the Facebook live feed. So guys, again, thank you so much for watching. We are nearing the conclusion. Do take note that this is the match 2 for the semifinals. Earlier on, it was Vietnam that was able to take out Team Philippines in a 3-0 sweep and enables Team Vietnam to secure the spot in the finals. As well as for tomorrow, we'll have the schedule of we'll have the finals tomorrow after the conclusion of this semi-finals. Take note, guys, this is the all-star team, the best players combined to become the dream team, voted by everyone for their respective countries, to participate and give us the best games in the Summoners League. And as I recall, going back into the group stage, a lot of stories has been, knowing that this is an all-star match, a lot of pegs and events has happened. Like for example, in the hands of Indonesia, we've seen a lot of interesting things such as an Alistar with an Alistar in the top lane, the 6.20 man patch. Because it's 6.22, actually Alistar top lane would be very much viable.
Yeah.
Alistar in the top lane, which has Trinity Force, okay, Proto Belt, better.
Infinity Edge.
But Static Ship, oh my god, and Infinity Edge. That closes the deal. That was on Ruben's hands, and there was also we opened up our group stage, as I recall as well, in comeback to be done. That was played between Vietnam and Malaysia as well. That was on game 1, and as well the close comeback played between Team Philippines and for Thailand.
Yeah.
Again, guys, for all the recaps, for all the standings, and for all the rankings, and probably the available schedule still here at the Garena All-Star Championships, be sure to visit allstar.garena.vn, the official website of the Garena All-Star Championships 2016. And guys, here we go. This is game 4 of the semi-finals. First game of this best of 5 match between Thailand Pro League, the All-Star team of Thailand, versus the Legend Circuit Malaysia, the All-Star team hailing from Malaysia, fighting for the championship, or rather the final slot. Let's go for the rundown. On the blue side, it's gonna be the Thailand Pro League. In the top lane, it's gonna be Intraso on this Poppy. Jungle, you have Noi for the Graves. Juke's gonna play the Syndra in the mid lane, and Cold and Fit gonna go for the Jean, ADC, and Sec on this stress support.
And for Team Malaysia, we have Shiro on the top lane front. We have Caspiel on the Elise. We have Arhedge on the mid lane, Vladimir. Jaehyung on the AD carry, Caitlyn. And Ozora Veki, the captain, on the support, Nami.
Yes, let's see. Considering the matchups here, both of the junglers will start on the top lane side, I'd say. Could be predicted because they'll be receiving the leash directly from the Trundle and the Poppy. The interesting part here is that the available ganks would be in the mid lane and in the bottom lane.
Yes, so as you know, both teams actually know that the junglers are starting on the left side of the map. Because of how bot lane interacted, they both ran into each other when the minion wave already got into lane. So they actually know that the possible jungle pathing coming out from the Elise and the Graves are going to be mid lane and bot lane.
Yeah.
But what we also saw was Duke was able to get one mini Raptor taken away from Caspiel, so that actually stops him from getting his level 3.
Yes.
And also helps slow him down a little bit, while giving him more an EXP lead over Arhedge in the mid lane.
Yes, of course. And this is actually one of the tankiest matchups that you could see in the top lane, guys. A Trundle versus a Poppy, synonymous of I think that is on SKT versus Samsung Galaxy.
We saw a lot of Trundle and Poppy just relentlessly beating up each other, but
Not dealing damage.
not dealing damage at all.
And let's see. For the panning here of our junglers, it's very interesting. They're just really steadily getting their camps before moving to their second big camp. Normally, what I do is after my first camp, I'd go for take the blue buff or red buff. Usually, I take the red buff because you know the stronger list usually falls in the bottom lane. And after that, after the blue buff or red buff, I'd go for the next big camp. But here in the top lane, rather in the bottom lane, for some flash out coming in from Jae Young. Do take note that the ignite gets used and as from Sek and as well as Ozora Becky's exhaust. And
Actually, both
yes.
junglers are mirroring each other right now, both slowly nearing that bot lane. But we get a nice poke coming out from Sek onto Jaehyung, and Golden Fleet lands the bouncing grenade and the last hit onto Jaehyung.
A clear first blood to be down here, and a big favor. Close is actually 2-0.
Yeah, we also had a kill onto the
The
top
top
lane.
lane, yes.
Intresso taking the kill on, taking the life of Shiro right there. Even with the EXP and CS disadvantage, he was still able to turn it around and get the solo kill onto Shiro.
Thailand's gonna come in big, getting that 2-0, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, that's a 1k gold lead as we see that there's a big CS lead here early to the game in the bottom lane in Jinx. So the bottom duo, I'd say from Sek, is doing a pretty neat job zoning out members here of Team Malaysia.
Shiro actually not opting to use his teleport to get back into lane, loses out on at least 10 minions right there. And Intresso, on the other hand, chooses to use his TP back into lane. So he opts for the call. We were talking about this yesterday, how
Yes.
top laners can also get call, especially in a lane where you don't expect a lot of kill pressure.
Action, yes, yes.
So a Poppy versus Trundle, usually solo kills aren't supposed to happen. It most likely was a mechanical misplay. And so even with that, it's still going to be a very boring farm lane where they just slowly trade each other. But one thing that you have to take in consideration is Malaysia has the TP advantage right now. So
Yeah,
Shiro and the rest of the Malaysian squad should know that they have the TP advantage, so they could set something up.
well, this is Trundle, and Trundle would require a few amount of items, you know, to ramp up. But could be a different story once we enter level 6. But look at how Intresso is doing a good job landing those hammer shocks.
Shiro has actually been taking really bad grades from how the lane looks so far. Even though he came to lane earlier and he has the in and sustain with his passive, he is still at a health deficit versus Intresso, so he is playing this matchup really bad.
Yeah, and now that's enough for them. The life goes so low, allowing Intresso to go for the dive. There's even a flash in for Noi to get the quick damage return of the end of the line. 3-0 this time, and Thailand is still at their tempo.
Thailand, very smart. Noi knowing that Shiro, when he reaches level 6, will be almost unkillable with that subjugate. So he actually pats towards the top lane, where Intresso was already setting up a slow push into the top lane, and just goes for the dive.
Managed to spot out Caspiel as he attempts for a gank. Nicely done by Sek. Even go for the preemptive death sentence onto one of the bottom duos here by Team Thailand. Or yeah, by Team Malaysia, I'd say. And yeah, it could be said that Caspiel tries to mirror something as they haven't changed or they haven't traded anything after that first blood in the not first blood, but after that gank done by Noi in the top lane.
But Caspiel hasn't gotten anything whatsoever from the Thailand side. He hasn't even stolen any buffs whatsoever. So Caspiel right now is at the EXP and gold disadvantage against Noi. Noi already being level 6. That he has more jungle, he can apply more jungle pressure. He's already looking to gank that bot lane after the Krogs because there aren't any wards whatsoever. They have 2 pink wards in the bot lane, so Sek landing the hook onto Ozora Becky, but they switch targets to Jaehyung, taking more damage. Looks really bad. Sek plays him back into the lane, but slowly Noi is actually creeping up into the and gets spotted by the trap.
Yes, guys, we have now 3-0 into our scoreboard, 7 minutes into the game, and the lead is this kind of a nice lead. I mean, kind of early, but that depends on how the kill has been distributed. Actually, what you want to observe early into the game is the items that's getting killed, and right now
that is what you would expect from Caspiel.
Caspiel,
Usually
yeah.
when you see the jungler at bot and his blue buff is up on the blue side, then you take it. But Noi actually being the better, making better decisions and just starting the dragon by himself,
Yeah.
soloing the dragon as
And
a
he
Grace
can-
with Berserker Greaves.
Yeah,
And if your
Berserker
bot
Greaves.
lane is pushing in, there is no chance whatsoever that it will get contested because because the Caitlyn and the Nami are by their turret, so they can't actually get any vision control of the river right there.
Yeah, as you can see that there's a ping. Even with the pink wards, not being able to spot out the Graves after they've seen the signal of an Infernal Drake getting caught. Nicely done there by
The
Sex.
Elise actually using her trinket even though she had the Raptor buff. That's also a cooldown that is somewhat important because as an Elise with a Raptor buff, you will be able to spot out a ward
Yeah.
even without using your trinket. So just you can just see how nervous Malaysia is right now. Caspiel is feeling the pressure because of the 3-0 lead that Thailand has over them.
And you know, jungler should be efficient. It's one of the defining characteristics of a good jungle. How to balance your camp, especially with these buffs. It's about to say goodbye, actually, in the 6.22, which are now live. But, let's see, Cocoon will not connect onto Intreso, but you still have to take note that it's a flash gun in the top lane here of Team Thailand. So maybe they can translate that onto something, but do take note as well that a Poppy is the tankiest member from the All-Star team of Thailand. And look at Duke.
Duke actually feeling the pressure right now because his blue buff was taken away from him. So if he actually chooses to back right now, he's going to lose a lot of damage onto his first turret. And that's very scary because he concedes the first turret, that's going to give a lot of map control all over to Malaysia.
Yes.
But he has to back. He has so much gold in his in the bank, but he has no choice unless Noi has to cover for him. And if Noi covers for him, he's going to lose out on a lot of pressure. So Thailand right now have to cover for their weak lane, and that weak lane is actually the Syndra right now.
Yes, 9 minutes, 52 seconds into the game, guys, and well, we can see a little skirmish being down here in the blue side jungle. They're gonna collapse on Caspiel. There's the side of it coming from the Nami, and a really nice rappel for the flash in. Still, Golden Bit will say no as he flashes in for his second bullet, getting the execute and the kill on the Elise. Now, second bullet as well of the curtain call goes to our hedge. Third bullet will miss. Fourth bullet I think it connected onto our hedge, but it doesn't even get needed as Sek will secure the kill with Ignite. This Vladimir on our hedge will say goodbye. Maybe, just maybe, Duke could take something out of that because, as we mentioned, he's feeling the pressure.
This is a result of that early first blood by the bot lane of Thailand. Malaysia hasn't even practically touched the tier 1 turret of Thailand until this very moment. And they have always been by their turrets, so it has given the bot lane of Thailand the freedom to actually get the pick onto Caspiel and now translate that into the first blood turret for the mid lane.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, 11 minutes into the game. It's 5-0 and Thailand, you know, making these small wins as they want to enter the mid game and make that game-changing big win. What I understand so far, clearly in these all-star matches, is the mid game really matters a lot, right? I mean, it's a make or break whatever kind of lead you get in the early game. If you have a big lead in the early game, then in the mid game, it could either be you win further, or to the point that you could own up the late game, or you lose that lead.
Yes,
Or you lose that lead.
so far, teams that have gotten the early game lead haven't
Yeah.
lost it,
Yes.
as we've seen for the past 2 days. But we have seen some
Comebacks.
very interesting comebacks as
Yeah.
well in the late game.
Yeah. And to speak, a lot of teams here in the Garena All-Star Championships invest a lot in trying to win the early game.
Because
That's the
one of the
norm
things
so
that
far.
we've noticed so far is that these teams actually are very methodical, with the exception of the Philippine team. They actually are very methodical. They burn this one summoner and then they play around that summoner. They burn this one. They info feed these things into their jungler, and their jungler makes these decisions based on the situation. That helps snowball this little advantage that they got, like the solo kill at top lane and the 2v2 win at bot lane. They use this to start snowballing it a little bit further and further, and it just hasn't stopped right now for Team Thailand.
See that both of the junglers now has completed their jungle item as well. At least with the runic echoes, whereas Graves gonna go for the warrior enchantment. Do take note as well that Intereso here as his first core item gonna go for the Sunfire Cape, puts in the collateral damage from Noi, gets the kill onto Shiro, given onto Duke. So let's see, the chase will be on to take note that Intereso will be low. Channels in the Keeper's Verdict, tries to predict wherever members of Team Malaysia tries to enter, and that's a clearly one win, one pick up in the top lane. Ozorabeki receives the deadly flourish, but there's no trash to follow up, no sec. There's a signal even to fall back as Sek lands in the lantern and recalled. Do take note that Sek still has his ignite.
That was very smart coming out from Team Thailand. They know that the Trundle is itemizing armor. They know that Noi and Intereso are both AD damage sources. So they actually have Duke push up mid lane and then rotate the top lane as well, landing the unleashed power onto Shiro and not giving him any chance whatsoever to survive.
Yeah, no magic resistance for Shiro.
No magic resistance for Shiro. So who would be the best target? Who would be the best candidate to kill Shiro? Their only source of magic damage on the entire team.
Duke, ladies and gentlemen. So even though Duke gets shoved early on in his own lane, he still has this consistency 1-0-0, and his itemization, I'd say it's quite aggressive, but it's in the meta, of course. It's quite proper.
It's very standard against
yes.
Vladimir.
Morelio Nomicon for anyone who would want to burst.
Exactly.
Yeah, Morelio Nomicon is the burst item for AP.
As you can see, when Duke got his blue buff, the second blue buff, he was actually able to transition that into a kill onto Shiro. That's the difference we have in the Vladimir versus Syndra matchup. If the Syndra has blue, she can outshove the Vladimir. But if the Syndra doesn't have blue, the Vladimir can just consistently keep on using his Tides of Blood onto the lane and slowly push the lane and force the Syndra under her turret.
Yeah, that Morelio Nomicon would be very much enough to, help you with controlling the lanes, the mana on that, and as well as the moment you were able to burst someone. Because of the little bonus that you get. Now our heads, as you mentioned, there's the shove. The turret is not there to protect this Vladimir, and Duke's gonna fully commit onto him. Do take note that there is still the ultimate, and Duke still at it. He flashes in, takes the risk as he gets dives on and bite on by Caspiel. It's still Malaysia now taking their first kill against Team Thailand. Oh, let's see. Noi here getting the touch on the Caspiel. You have to take note. You have to respect that this is an 80 damage and you lack the armor. End of the line. No, it will be a collateral damage. The damage is enough as the red buff takes on to the Elise. Now fight is on. Duel for duel. Two ADCs. The jungle and the ADC himself gonna collapse onto Shiro. Shiro tries to wall away on these Graves. And here comes Sek. No, it's rather cold that it's gonna go flashing in. And Intereso will join the fight. They are making picks after picks in this bottom lane. Thailand picking up the momentum. Here comes Sex for the distance into Jae-Young, and Jae-Young will say goodbye as 4 members collapses onto him. But do take note, landing that Peacemaker gets the kill as well onto Noi. Did our hedge die?
Yeah, our hedge didn't die.
It's a 3-4-1. 3-4-2 exchange, ladies and gentlemen. No, it's a 3-4-1. It's a 3-4-1 because it's already 1 kill.
But they all got the kill.
Yes, that is alright. So it's a 3-4-2 exchange in favor of Thailand.
Wow, actually, Noi had no business there anymore. He had no HP. He already got the assist on the Jae-Young. He didn't have to go that near to the Caitlyn and actually ended up giving up a free kill. So we have some action right there. Noi getting the kill on the Caspiel with the skirmishing saber, and then we also have the TP coming in from Shiro. But Intereso also landing a TP is actually on Ozorabeki right now, but right now they're just juggling Shiro.
Yes.
Shiro can't actually kill any of them because of how he itemized. So it was a very questionable TP in the first place. But take a look at what happens. Noi walks up, takes the Peacemaker to the face, and just ends up giving free gold to Jae-Young. So it was a good play coming out from Thailand. It could have been cleaner though.
Could have been cleaner, yes, definitely. What I want to point out as well is Jae-Young, aside from that Peacemaker in the face on Noi, actually, earlier on when he tried to engage in the reverse side, he could have done better on landing his damage. He was not able to land his caliber net. He only used that defensively, even used the heal just to escape, and even the next Peacemaker, so he actually did not deal any damage early on against the Graves and against the G. So let's see, the star here is in the top lane, and these two guys, Jin and Graves, they could make a great Brokeback movie together. And right now they're doing up along with Sek to guide them. Do take note, there could be any flank coming in. No, there's no flank coming in from Poppy from Ingreso because there's no teleport. They lack for teleport, but the pressure's still on the jungler. Caspiel is yet to join that fight. Gets spotted there by Noi. Chase will be on. You have to respect the end of the line. Tidal Wave gets received here. And also a two-man bubble. Still damage is lacking. It's very risky for Malaysia to force these skirmishes. To accept these skirmishes that Thailand is forcing.
The thing about Malaysia right now is they don't have any damage. Take a look at how they're itemizing. They don't have any damage. The only source of damage right now is Jaehyung, who has a naked Infinity Edge. There's no crit multiplier with a Runans or a Rapid Fire Cannon.
Yep.
So Malaysia's DPS right now is just way too low. Their only source of damage can be Caspiel because he has that Runic Echoes enchantment. But even then, the amount of damage that Thailand has as a Graves, a Syndra, a Jin with double Infernal Drake is
really big. I mean,
it's huge.
It's
just
yes.
huge.
Yeah. Two Infernal Drakes as you mentioned. So yes, it's gonna scale really well in this mid. Well, we just entered mid game. Yes, pretty early to. So yeah, it's almost mid game, and you know it's gonna be big as you mentioned for these Graves and for this Jin. But again, as we mentioned during mid games, no, all that shot, that sentence we correct, followed up by the dead tripler. Jaehyung receiving an all-in from this all-in bottom duo that is in the top lane of Team Thailand. Duke gets caught out of position, gets the bite from Caspiel, is the bullet as well as the collateral damage. Tons of damage coming in from the Graves and the Jin ADC here of the Thailand team. Now gonna collapse on the Caspiel. Caspiel gets the bite, but will he be able to make it? Gonna rappel in, puts the bite, 370 gold onto the Jin. Now look at Shiro is going for the cleanup. This is Malaysia's stand right now as Noi not dealing the damage. Run for your life. Might be, can he take this fight? Noi still at it, going for the trade up, takes the duel. End of the line, didn't connect. Teleport coming in from Intrezo. Gonna buy the time, ladies and gentlemen. That's the signal for Shiro to fall back. I think he has the kit. No, he's still going at it. Noi taking the bait. Garena, quick throw in, but what killed him?
The subjugate overtime damage.
Subjugate overtime damage, ladies and gentlemen, and you know.
That was actually a
Messy
very messy
fights.
fight. Very messy fight.
Messy fight.
4 for 4, if I'm not mistaken. And so far, it's going in the. I would say that that's actually a win for Malaysia. So we start out with Duke actually getting picked out by the Malaysian team. No vision control yet, but beautiful curtain call coming out from Golden Feet. He actually gets our heads with all bullets.
Yeah, nicely done.
But then here, the thing about them trying to turn on to Shiro is that they are all physical damage, and Shiro has armor.
Yeah, that's
Shiro has his Sunfire cape, and he has his subjugate coming up in a few minutes,
and
in a few seconds. So just getting these kills, getting the sustain because of his passive, he's actually able to regenerate so much HP. Shiro actually kind of unsure whether he can kill Noi, so at least he got the kill at the end.
Duke is already gone for that fight. So this time, Shiro's itemization pays off. Now that the Malaysian team was able to remove the only AP damage here by Team Thailand. So you know, that's one of the stories here in the mid game. Let's see. Still, there's a little lead. No, removes the grab, gets the bomb, puts the burst damage, and Noi will receive the ace in the hole. Here comes the curtain call. First bullet, good neck set to Jaehyung. I was expecting then she's gonna go for the death fire touch, ladies and gentlemen. Double kill for the ADC of Team Thailand as they own up this blue side jungle. Nice.
Noi right there, even though he gets spotted by the Wolf Spirit, just goes in, takes the Gromp, this is mine, takes their lives as well on the way out.
Oh, the nuclears will connect. It's a matter of time before they will land. And that sentence gets mitigated there by the Sanky Pull, but you won't dodge this heroic charge. Now, Azora Veki receives the pulse from Duke, and it is a 3 for Zero Exchange. Still looking into the dead timers as Thailand picks up the momentum on taking this battle.
Wow, these fights coming out from Malaysia are actually, aside from the previous fight, that was actually a well-organized fight where they knew that Noi was gonna go in. So Colt and Pete was already in the position for the curtain call, and he actually got 2 kills, so it took the lives of both Cashpiel and Jaehyung. And then they transitioned that into another pick in the left side jungle.
Yeah.
And
Picks up their picks.
picks after picks, and now it's become a Baron.
Yeah, do they know? There's no kun for this Elise. At the least, there's a minion to rappel into. These two guys, they're never leaving each other. These two guys with a gun, with the big guns.
Well, I guess you could say it's the Western team that
Yeah.
that comes with the double AD carry composition coming out from Thailand. But more utility coming out from the Syndra. The Syndra actually getting Rylai's instead of getting a Rabadon or a Void Staff. So it looks like Malaysia, they're by the ropes right now.
Yeah.
Slowly trying to claw their way back into this game. They're slowly getting more damage with the Proto Belt being completed, the Iceborne Gauntlet, and we have a crit multiplier almost completed as well for Jaehyung. So things are looking pretty good for Malaysia if they can hold on for dear life right now.
Yes, there we go, guys. Let's see Noi here. Gonna be receiving the ace in the hole once again. And will put them to safety. Hemaplay gets casted on this jungle plus the support. But you can see, check out the curtain call won't be connecting because there's no need. Caspiel will go down. Juke is gonna collapse, puts in the ball, and choke it onto our heads, but it's gonna be Noi taking that kill. 3 members gone again from Malaysia's side. They're taking fights against Team Thailand with a Baron buff, but let's see a little trade up here. Shiro versus Intresso. Intresso's gonna use this ultimate to go for the peel, and turrets are going to be pushed against Team Malaysia.
Most interesting solo lane fight right there.
Yep.
Poppy versus the Trundle.
Poppy
But we have Golden Peach slowly pushing into the team top lane, while 3 members of Thailand are slowly taking the first inhibitor of the game.
There's a flash dodge by Noi. What is he has the ultimate.
Actually, that's a very questionable play right
Yeah.
there. Flashes in for no reason. Maybe just asserting his dominance, showing Malaysia, I can do this and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, well, you can see how Zora Beckett receives. No, that's not even an ultimate. It's just a pick off against the support here of Team Malaysia. If Noi flashes in and manages to land a quick return damage of the end of the line, I'm not sure if it's still even enough to burst Jaehyung.
I think it's possible just because of how strong Noi is right now. He's actually level 14 versus level 13 Caitlyn.
Two guys
And
with the big
aside
guns.
from that, he has such a big gold lead that he's probably 1 item ahead.
And this is Shiro, the tankiest member gone. Kept in check here by Team Thailand. They might force something here as the ultimate on top of the 2 Dark Spears will connect to the Caitlyn. Now Caspel go for the dive. Team Malaysia is still going at it despite not losing a lot of members, and even Airhead's gonna go for this fight. Curtain call gets activated. First bullet will connect. Keepers. Oh, the alley-oop shot! Wow! That's definitely a very big highlight done there by Golden Fit and Intresso. Keeper's verdict to the 4th bullet of the curtain
That
call.
could have been one of the best plays of the game.
Yeah, guys. I think this is the game. The second Nexus turret is now gone. It's a matter of, maybe just add a little cherry on top. Destroy the top lane, as a bonus. Golden Fit, though, not finishing that, not wasting any time. Gotta go for the Nexus. He actually landed his 4th bullet on the minion. But guys, the biggest congratulations for Team Thailand taking on Game 1's victory against Team Malaysia.
Wow, this is a very nice game.
Yeah, by Team Thailand.
Malaysia not having enough damage whatsoever. Their composition is very low damage. It was really reliant on the Elise and the Caitlyn to carry them through the game because the Vladimir didn't actually get the big start. He didn't become a gigantic monster to destroy the enemy team with the
It's very
Chemo
likely
Plague.
they're looking for they're planning and aiming for the long game.
Mhm.
But that's one inherent weakness is the early game. And maybe they've relied on Elise to keep that in check, but failed to do so because there's a lot of presence coming in from the Graves, coming in from the I'm not sure about coming in from the Graves, and as well as Jin. These 2 guys, when the mid game spikes, when they group up along with Site, everything went south in the top lane, I'd say.
I think they could have done better because the both junglers were mirroring each other in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
So they could have been smarter regarding that. But there was a solo kill at top lane and there was a 2v2 kill as well in the bot lane. Those things are never supposed to happen
I see. Yeah.
in any competitive match whatsoever. Even in solo, you're not supposed to lose. You're not supposed to die in a solo kill, and you ideally not die at all.
Yeah, I mean, guys,
General.
really nicely done there by Team Thailand. I'm very sure that Team Malaysia will, put themselves together, come up with a plan. As you know, there are certain mistakes composition-wise coming in from Team Malaysia. We'll see what are the adjustments to be done on this game. Do take note that this is a best of 5 series, so we still have 2 more sure games. But let's see. The big question is, will it be a match point on the next game for Team Thailand, or will we have an even 1-1 comeback to make this series more interesting? Guys, this is the match, the semifinals match between Team Thailand versus Team Malaysia. We have been your shoutcasters. I am Shinbu with the 1 for a 9, of course, with iconic the Garena All-Star Championships 2016. We'll be right back for Game 2. See a little skirmish being down here in the blue side jungle. They're gonna collapse on Caspiel. There's the tidal wave coming from the Nami, and a really nice rappel for the flash in. Still Golden Fit will say no as he flashes in for his second bullet, getting the execute and the kill on the Elise. Now, second bullet as well of the curtain call goes to our hedge. Third bullet will miss. Fourth bullet for, I think it connected onto our hedge, but it doesn't even get needed as it's duel for duel. 2 ADCs. The jungle and the ADC himself gonna collapse onto Shiro. Shiro tries to wall away on these graves, and here comes Sek. No, it's rather Golden Fit gonna go flashing in, and Impression will join the fight. They are making picks after picks in this bottom lane. Thailand bringing up the momentum. Here comes Sek with the distance into Jae-Young, and Jae-Young will say goodbye as 4 members collapses onto him, but lose take no position. Gets the bite from Caspiel. Is the bullet as well as the collateral damage. Tons of damage coming in from the Graves and the GDBC here of the Thailand team. Now gonna collapse on the Caspiel. Caspiel gets the bite, but will he be able to make it? Gonna rappel in, puts the bite, 370 gold onto the Jin. Now look at Shiro is going for the cleanup. This is Malaysia stand right now as Noi quite not dealing the damage. Run for your life. Might be, can he take this fight? Noi still at it, going for the trade up next the duel. End of the line to the connect. Teleport coming in from Ingresso. Gonna buy the time. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the signal for Shino to fall back. I think he has the hit. No, he's still going at it. Noi taking the bait. Yan! Quick throw in, but what will do? Because there's no need. Caspiel will go down. Juke is gonna collapse, puts in the ball, and choke it onto our heads, but it's gonna be Noi taking that. And this is Shiro, the tankiest member gone. Kept in check here by Team Thailand. They might force something here as the ultimate on top of the 2 Dark Spears will connect to the Caitlyn. Now Caspiel go for the dive. Team Malaysia is still going at it despite not losing a lot of members, and even Arhead's gonna go for this fight. Curtain call gets activated. First bullet will connect. Keepers. Oh, the alley-oop shot! Wow! That's definitely a very big highlight done there by Golden Fit and Intresso. Keeper's verdict to the 4th bullet of the curtain call.
That could have been one of the best plays of the game.
Yeah, guys. I think this is the game. The second next turn is now gone. It's a matter of, maybe just add a little cherry on top. Destroy the top lane, as a bonus. Golden Fit, though, not finishing, not wasting any time. Gotta go for the Nexus. He actually left his 4th bullet in the beginning. But guys, the biggest congratulations